projects?
We're trying to introduce more sustainable way of transport in towns. We're trying to pass our message to people in town that cars are not the only way to transport in town, that bigger attention should be paid to people and to pedestrian areas. And kind of people really need clean air, clean atmosphere in cities, and they need more social space for themselves. So one of the main campaigns in Zazimiata is exactly connected with more space for people on streets, more space for pedestrians and for cycling, and more kind of more nice campaigning, more better atmosphere in town.
One of the For the Land projects provokes an interesting discussion. The project is called Energy Efficiency and Alternative Sources of Energy. The opinion of Mire from Novi Sad about the wind energy is also interesting. He says that to the common man, wind and blowing means something else, not connected to the energy. But it's about time to start thinking about these matters and to start investing in the development of cheaper technologies for an environmental friendly energy. We arrived late and the workshop ended at 11 p.m. But as it came up, it's never late enough for a party. This is the third day of the trip, enough time for some young people to become friends. And the party is great thanks to the good old Bob Marley.
Stolen from Africa, brought to America, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival. If you know your history.
In the morning, we all get up early. We got to reach Ohrid on Macedonia late at night, so the first hour of the trip everybody's sleeping. The bad weather follows us closely. But there are many things we can learn for each other even though our countries are so close.
There are like three advantages that this region has if we compare it with other regions, and that are that we have really highly educated young people. The second thing, that we have great natural resources like biodiversity, soil, sun, or let's say solar energy, water. Water is there is really great lacks of water in other European countries, and we are really lucky to have it now. And also the third really specific thing about this region is that we don't have such big industry, because it's devastated, it's destroyed because of war conflicts.
We arrive late and hurry to our rooms. We see Ohrid in the dark and hope that tomorrow there'll be time for sightseeing. In the morning is the third workshop of the Eco Tour. Representatives of the local regional environmental center inform us about one of the most important international conventions Macedonia has signed, the Aarhus Convention.
Aarhus Convention is an interesting convention, and it is very important for the protection of the environment, not just in Macedonia but in the whole European region, because it is the first convention in which is dealing at the same time with protection of environment and with human rights protection. This convention is consisted of three pillars, what they are using to say for them. The first pillar is access to environmental information. The second pillar is public participation in environmental decision-making process. And the third is access to justice in environmental matters. Macedonia is one of the first countries who ratified this convention. It happened about 3 years ago. But at this moment still we cannot say that the full implementation of convention is able in Macedonia. The reason for that is because a lot of laws which should be changed or modified to be able to meet the criteria and principles of Aarhus Convention are waiting for their modification, are waiting for their adoption at the parliament or in the government, in the ministries. So therefore, still there is not a significant institutional frameworks for development or for implementation of this convention. Although we are lucky that in the last year and something, there is a big will of the government, of our government, to implement this convention in real life.
We all agree that our governments should not only ratify such conventions, but they should also implement them. Places like the Ohrid Lake are among the most beautiful in the world. The lake is invented even before the wheel and the fire. About 4 million years ago, the Ohrid Lake is the third biggest in Europe, and it gets its water from the mountain springs of Galicica. We are really happy to have the chance to go on a boat tour around the lake and to meet people of some other youth conference taking place in Ohrid at the time. We exchange information and addresses and visit together the Saint Neum Monastery. The monastery is built in 893 AD and has been a center of the Slavonic culture till the days of the Ottoman Empire. Now the monastery is very close to the Albanian-Macedonian border, so we are discussing the difficulties in protecting cross-border natural resources like the Ohrid Lake. This discussion will continue later in Bihać. The subject will be another similar nature resource, the river of Una. Macedonia is also involved with another ecological project, the project for protection of terrestrial mammals such as brown bears and wolves. Together with some members of the Macedonian Ecological Society, we discussed why their protection is a condition for their survival.
The main problems are mostly financial, and we have problems with our authorities, governments, etc. But we are managing somehow to implement our measures. We are promoting for the conservation of large carnivores, meaning on bear, brown bear, wolf, lynx, etc., golden jackal today. And we think to start with the conservation of birds of prey in the future period.
The town of Ohrid is as beautiful as the lake. The Macedonians tell us that in the region there are 365 churches, a church for each day of the year, according to the local legend. Here we decide to talk with Ankica, the girl the other Macedonians are called for a joke Shefica, which means boss, because she is the head of the other 4 members of Macedonian group.
I'm a volunteer in ecological organization which calls BIOS, and it's apart from them or ecological movement of Macedonia.
And why did you decide to get part of an ecological organization?
Well, I just want to be a part of something good, you know. I just want to do something good for the whole environment, and that's why. And
What project did you have in your organization?
well, I had a lot of projects. I mean, the last project that we made was the eco camp, and on our mountain called Plachkovica Eco Camp. And also we do some cleaning in the town. We clean the garbage from the town, and we plant trees in the town, and we educate the small children from the school, and so.
And why do you think that young people should deal with such kind of organizations?
Because you know, there's lots of drugs and lots of many bad things in our country, and I think in all countries, and I think that young people should be a part of something good, and they should doing something good for themselves or for their countries, their environment, and they shouldn't drink and they shouldn't smoke, and I don't know, they should do something much better than that.
In the evening there is a surprise for all of us. A special orchestra introduced us to the most popular Macedonian folk and pop songs. Few of us are fans of this exact music style, but after a brief moment of hesitation we managed to do some decent dancing and to realize that even the traditional dances in the region have many things in common. We are on the road again. The next stop is Montenegro, where we'll meet local ecological activists. We are going around Kosovo and we spend 12 more hours in the bus with our new friends. One of the coolest things in the bus is the music. Leo is our DJ. He works at the most underground club in Zagreb, Croatia, called Močvar.
My name is Leo, and I'm taking care of music in environmental bus tour.
You're in what kind of organization?
It's the WIRE organization. The name is Wired, and it's the multicultural exchange between the Scandinavian countries and the countries of the Eastern Europe.
And I want to ask you, how do you choose the music, and what kind of music have you chosen?
Well, I try to cover all the musical, tastes for everyone. It's not very difficult because I'm in the music for a long time, and I try to satisfy everyone. I think the main purpose is also to hear some quality music which you couldn't hear, every day, or the music that is forgotten, and I don't know, traditional music which is in different countries. When we are crossing through Croatia, it's traditional Balkan music of southern Croatia, and we're crossing to Macedonia, we try to put the traditional music of Macedonia.
Montenegro is a small country and it's federated with Serbia. The